and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, week 10 of the UFL. This is the final regular season week. The next 2 weeks will be playoffs, and then we'll be done for another season of the UFL. Starting next week, the CFL begins. The regular season starts next week. So we're just going to replace the UFL with the CFL and move forward with football for the rest of the year. All right. Week 10, we've got playoff fever. We got 3 teams that have clinched. We have 1 playoff spot left. We have some teams that can play spoiler. All right, so right now, Orlando's got the top seed at 7-2, followed by the Orlando Storm, followed by the St. Louis BattleHawks, 6-3. The defending champions, DC Defenders, are 5-4. They're clinched. They're ready to go. 2 teams, the Louisville Kings and the Birmingham Stallions, 5-4, 4-5. That is the battle. Who is going to be that 4th and final team? The Columbus Aviators at 3-6, Dallas Renegades at 3-6, and the Houston Gamblers at 3-6 have been eliminated from playoff contention. All right, so the first game we have the BattleHawks, who are battling for the number 1 overall seed, are battling for their seed as well. 6-3, hosting the 3-6 Dallas Renegades. In the last 3 games, Dallas has given up 29.6 points a game while scoring only 21. St. Louis scoring 22.6, giving up 19.3. On the road this year, Dallas is 0-4. At home, the BattleHawks are 3-1. The number 1 defense in the UFL, the St. Louis BattleHawks. Now in week 2, Dallas did beat St. Louis in Dallas 31-15. Dallas has lost 6 straight since in the last 6. They won 3 straight to start the season. They've lost 6 straight. St. Louis is 4-2 in their last 6. So with the home record, with that little stat there, they're playing good late, which is what you need to do as you head into the playoffs. The BattleHawks are favored by 5.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 46.5. Now, week 9, I was 3-1 on the straight up, 3-1 against the spread, 3-1 on the over/under. Another 9-3 week, which is awesome. Overall, 20-16 on the straight up picks, 16-20 against the spread, 19-17 on the over/under. So 55-53 overall, 50.9%. The goal is always 60%, but you can't always achieve your goals. As long as we can be above 500, I'll call it a successful 2026 UFL season. And then again, those numbers will obviously just for the UFL. We'll start fresh with the CFL next week, see if we can do 60% there. And then in August, we'll start with the college NCAA college football, which that'll be kicked off with a before week 0, a kind of a realignment of all 136 FSS teams. I've done this kind of realignment before. They've added teams, taking teams away. I kind of enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun actually to go through and look at all the schools geographically and kind of organize them in different divisions and stuff, and kind of came up with a new kind of playoff format. I know they're expanding that for coming up, so I don't like here's where that's headed on some of that stuff, but just an idea there. And then in September, obviously, we'll start with the NFL. All right, game number 2 on the slate. We have the Birmingham Stallions, who are 4-5. They are in a hot battle for that final playoff spot against the 3-6 Houston Gamblers. Houston has scored and given up the exact same number of points in the last 3 weeks, on average 20.3, while the Stallions are scoring 21.3 points a game. Stallions are 8th in offense, 8th in defense on the year. Week 2, Houston did beat Birmingham 22-20 in Houston. Houston is 2-4 in their last 6, while Birmingham has kind of been that 500 team, 3-3. They're at home here. At home, they're 2-2. On the road, Houston is 1-3, so got a little advantage there. Home team is favored by 1.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 44.5. And then we have a couple of playoff teams facing off here. Kind of a playoff preview, possibly. The 7-2 Orlando Storm taking on the 5-4 defending champion DC Defenders. DC, in the last 3 games, has given up an average of 30 points a game while only scoring 10. They've now lost 3 straight. They've got to turn their ties around, heading into the playoffs. That is not the way you want to make a playoff run. As you lead into it, 0-3, giving up 30 points a game. That's just not a a road success for the playoffs. Now at home they are 3-1, so they got that going for them. Orlando scoring 26 points a game in the last 3 games, 4-0 at home. They're on the road. Unfortunately, they're only 3-2, the second best offense in the UFL. Week 9, DC won 27-19 in Orlando, but Orlando now has won 3 straight. So you kind of got the tale of 2 teams here. That Orlando, they got the momentum. They're 3 straight. They're the number 1 seed. They're kind of setting themselves up for a great long playoff run, while DC is just not even hardly treading water. Lost 3 straight. Yeah, you're in the playoffs, but if you're a 500 team going into the playoffs versus a team that's 8-2, what chances do you have? Orlando is favored by 1.5 on the road here. I am taking Orlando to win, covering over on that 47.5 because of the slide that DC's defense has been on, and what Orlando's offense has done all season, second all season in the offense. I can see some points being put up here. All right, and then we have the Louisville Kings, 5-4, fighting for their life in that final playoff spot, going up against the 3-6 Columbus Aviators. Now, the only bright spot for Columbus, they're second in defense on the season. They are 3-1 at home. Now, they got off to that 0-3 skid to start the season. They're 500 otherwise, 3-3. So, what could have been this year for them? So they're 3-3 in their last 6. Second in defense, third in offense. So they have the team. They just had some bad luck around the way. The 5-4 Louisville Kings, 3-1 on the road, which helps them. Their offense is fit. That doesn't help them any. They won 3 straight, so that's good. You know, when they won here, they won 4 straight going to the playoffs. Yeah, they barely make the playoffs, but hey, you know what? Sometimes barely making the playoffs is better than not making the playoffs. Louisville is favored by 2.5 on the road. I got them winning, covering, and I'm taking over on the 46.5 because of what Louisville's offense have done in the last 3 games. They've scored 100 points, 33.3 on average. Those 3 wins. Defense not giving up 22, so it's not horrible. So yeah, I think Louisville is kind of getting hot at the right time. They're going to kind of barely make their way into the playoffs, and we'll see what they can do in the playoffs next week. So, BattleHawks win, cover under on the 46.5. The Stallions win, cover under on the 44.5. The Orlando Storm win, cover over on the 47.5. And the Louisville Kings win, cover, and over on the 46.5. All right, that is UFL Week 10 against Stay Tuned Rubber Sports Show for the playoffs, and then the CFL Week 1 next week. That is possibly a CFL season preview before that. As always, thanks for watching Rubber Sports Show. Don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Rubber Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.